What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Homie Hangout, where we help others move in excellence. And let's talk about drama, right? This is about drama on YouTube, but I want to be clear. I think there's some stuff in here that can help all of us, right, in different areas of our life, because none of us are immune to drama, right? Some like it, some don't like it. Some say one thing but really feel another way. But regardless, we all face it sometimes, right? So how does drama start? And these are just five principles, five ideas of how drama starts, five ideas of how we can squash that. You know what I mean? So let's go. One is a classic, worrying about what other people are doing. You know, what's this and what's that? And becoming so focused on other people and so focused on the different moving parts around you that you become consumed by it, right? You become consumed by other people's behavior. And that's not healthy. You know what I mean? That's really not. How do you kind of address that, or maybe what's a remedy to that? I'll take an example from business, and I've mentioned this before. If you have a business and you sell a product, and somebody opens up next door and they're selling a similar product, they want to compete with you, right? A basic principle of business is you don't focus on what they're doing. That means you just have to double down and focus more on what you're doing. Focus on perfecting your product, perfecting what you've got going on, because you already have an audience, you already have a customer base, right? So something about what you're doing, people are rocking with. Perfect that rather than try to chase the next person, because people got their own ways, people do their own things, and if you get to chasing them, you're running away from who you are. So don't worry about what other people are doing, right? They do what they do. You do what you do. It sounds simple, but it's like something that's so hard sometimes for people to do. Another one, answering questions, right? Giving opinions. Sometimes people will bait you. Hey man, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Have you heard this? And maybe you do have thoughts about it, right? Maybe you have heard it, you know, but something I've kind of learned to live by, and I haven't always done this, to be quite honest. But it's a practice that I've been more disciplined about. I think is just because you have something to say doesn't mean you have to say it, and that doesn't mean you're lying. That doesn't mean you're not correct in what you think or your analysis. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But it means, is it necessary? This person asked me something. Does it benefit me to answer that question honestly? Or is the better answer, you know what, Holmes, that ain't my business, right? That's not my thing, or I'm not tripping, or you gotta go ask them, or some other way to deflect. It doesn't mean again that you necessarily lie. You pass. You know what, Holmes, I pass. I'm good, right? And and that goes for not just public stuff, but also private stuff. You know, and these are lessons that I've learned and continue to learn. You know, you can have conversations with somebody where you think you're just having a casual talk, right? Just chopping it up and BSing, but people will hear what they want to hear. And maybe at the moment that you're talking, it is just a casual conversation. But later on down the line, the doors open them for them to kind of twist or manipulate or dice down what you said, or whatever, to then get you into issues. And as you notice, all this stuff comes together, right? So then they're worrying about other people, they're bringing you into it, this and that. So again, just because you have something to say doesn't mean you have to say it, right? Another way drama starts, right? And this is going to be a pretty quick video, but another way drama starts, being self-centered, thinking everything has to do with you, right? Oh, I heard this person say this. They must be talking about me, right? Or I see what's going on over here. It must be a response to what I'm doing, right? Because I do this, now they do that, and that's all about me. Like the world doesn't revolve around me, and it doesn't revolve around you, nor anybody else that you know, right? That's not how things work. It's not all about you. We are by nature kind of selfish people, right? By nature, we're concerned with ourselves and our well-being and what we got going on. Sometimes that hyper focus on ourselves leads us to be like paranoid, and thinking that we are at the center, we are a part of everything going on. You're not, Holmes. You're not. A lot of times you're not. And even if you are, That gets back to the worrying about what other people are doing. Okay, okay, big deal, right? Is it hurting you? Is it physically harming you? Right? Um, and if not, I would argue, oh well, if you if you have a guilty conscience, which I think happens a lot. I think a lot of times when people hear something or they catch wind of something and like, oh, that must be about me. It's because they have a guilty conscience because they feel when they hear it that that shoe fits them, right? Not always, but I think it is a factor. And if that's the case, get a therapist, Holmes, or address your own shortcomings, improve yourself, conduct yourself in a way where that shoe doesn't fit anymore. Those are your choices. You can do that for you. Nobody else can. You know what I mean? So just take a step back and take whatever input, whatever guidance, that is giving to you, even if it's unintentional, and work with it. But otherwise, if it doesn't fit, if it doesn't strike you, don't try to make it about you. Right. Because that's the other thing is some people want it to be about them so that they can respond. Right. And because that's their value. It's I think so highly of myself that of course people are talking about me. You know what I mean? Is I'm so awesome, I'm so amazing, I'm so threatening to these inferior people that of course they're coming at to me. Cut it out. Cut it out. That's not true. Right? Really. It's not true. It's not true for anybody, you know? Another one, financial gain and attention. Um, People have brought that up before. I can say honestly, I have never gotten into a conflict with somebody on YouTube because of financial gain. Right? I've never orchestrated like, hey, Holmes, we're gonna go at it and this and that. That hasn't been the case. What I have learned is um, if somebody gets at you and you get back at them, then you might as well monetize it and cash in. Right? I didn't used to do that, and I was just shooting myself in my own foot from this righteous integrity thing of, nah, I'm gonna prove this is not what it's about. Look, that's not what it's about. But I'm also in part on YouTube to get it back, right? And everybody else that's monetized is too. Because if you didn't care about money, you wouldn't have a monetized channel, right? You don't have to monetize it. There's a whole process you go through. It's not just automatic. So if you're monetized, you have some desire to make money. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to get rich. That doesn't mean you don't work or you don't do other things, right? It doesn't mean money is your only focus. But folks are fooling you if you believe that anybody with a monetized channel has no interest in making money. And so I've tried to push hard against that, and I've shot myself in the foot because there was money to be made. I made the content. I might as well reap the benefits of the commercials, right? But but there are folks, there are situations where that has happened, and I've looked around at other genres lately, and MobTube, which is a thing, they're beefing, right? And I don't know who, and I don't know what the issue is. I don't really care, but I go watch some of their videos, and it's all them talking about other content creators, right, or other people that have showed up on interviews on other channels even in the true crime realm, which is weird to me. Like, I don't know how you beef over true crime. You're just reporting true crime stories that have happened, right? So they beef with each other. And next thing you know, they're on lives and they're making videos about how this person this and that person that and undercut or whatever. And I don't know, again, who's right, who's wrong, or what's in between. And I don't care, you know? Um, is some of that for financial gain? Probably. And is some of that because of pride and ego and feeling like, oh, I'm not going to let you get one up on me, right? And as low as you can sink comes, I can sink that low too. Sure, right? There's some of that too, and trying to make shit hurt. But all money is not good money. You know, you will get an initial rush of attention from having beef on YouTube because there is a certain customer base on YouTube that likes the drama, right? And I'll be honest, there's been times, especially lately, where I've seen some stuff and I'm like, this is ridiculous. But I'm laughing and I'm still watching. No lie. Right? In the grand scheme of things, though, it's not good for your channel, right? Because people are coming to your channel because they want to see you in this little beef, in this little YouTube issue. So then you're going to be stuck. in order to continue to entertain, in order to continue to draw those people, in order to continue to satisfy them with your content, you're gonna have to continue being in funk with people. It's like they're not tuning in because of the product you create or the message that you have or any of that stuff. They're tuning in because you're talking shit to someone else or someone else is talking shit about you, right? When you guys stop talking shit, they're probably not going to keep watching your channel, right? And so that initial rush is cool, but then you got a bunch of empty subscribers because people may not unsubscribe. So now you got a ton of subscribers, but you're not getting a ton of views on videos because people don't care, right? Um, Now those waves can last a while, but you also make a fool out of yourself a lot of times. And those who would otherwise really mess with you, those who would otherwise be interested in your content, they get turned off. They get pushed away. And I've had that. I've gotten into issues with people on YouTube, and there's some subscribers that are really active and really engaged with my content. And they're like, man, I'm cool, Holmes. I don't want to hear this. And they'll pop up like a month later, 2 months later. Man, bro, I'm glad you're back to your content. I'm here now. And those are the subscribers I enjoy interacting with more than those who just want to be a part of the beat, who just ask those questions of, hey, did you hear what so and so said? And did you see what so and so posted? And what do you think about this? And I'll get to the subscribers in a second, right? But so that's it. Not all money is good money, right? And then number five, some people are just weirdos, huh? Flat out. Some people are just weirdos, right? And so they come online and they do weird shit because they're weird people. And doing weird stuff is gonna attract attention. You might do weird stuff and go after other people. We've seen that recently with another channel. And you might attract some attention for it, right? But because you're weird, that's why. Not because you're a good content creator. Um, you might do weird stuff and people laugh and joke about you, right? You become a joke. You become a mascot of weirdness on YouTube, and that can lead to some beef, right? And that could lead to some instigation. Because when you show that you're an unstable weirdo, people are gonna press your buttons to see just how fucking weird you're gonna get, right? So don't be weird. Just don't be weird. That's the thing is there's no barrier to entry with YouTube. All you need is a Gmail account, and if you want to get monetized, you have to have a bank account, right? That's it to get on YouTube. So not everybody that comes on here is level-headed, you know? Not everybody that comes on here really has anything to offer. Not everybody who comes on here has a shred of dignity or credibility or character, right? Most people that build a platform do, most of the time that's true because if you're weird like that, you can't, generally build a big platform. But sometimes people get weird and YouTube makes them weird, right? And a lot of people have done videos about beefs and drama and people going weird on YouTube and that kind of stuff. So I'm not trying to just be repetitive of all that stuff, you know? Um, I kind of got my own little take on it, I think. And there's some overlap because there's some common sense involved. But but just don't be weird, right? And it seems lately at least, there's really not a lot of beef, quote unquote, in the West Coast prison genre. And I specify West Coast because there's a whole lot of other channels, and I don't know what the hell they all got going on, right? But this West Coast arena of content creators, which frankly I think have some of the best content creators on YouTube. There's not really a whole lot of beef. For me personally, as somebody that's had issues with various channels or various content creators over the year, maybe year and a half, whatever that I've been on YouTube, um, this is like the most peaceful time for me. While yes, I watch some of the stuff and I get a kick out of it, and I'm not blameless. I'm not innocent. I'm not some, absolutely righteous person in terms of how I conduct myself on this platform or how I engage with other people, right? So don't get me wrong, right? I try to do cool, and a lot of other people do too. A lot of other people, most people, uh, are cool about how they engage as well. Honestly, and taking some of the stuff that I just mentioned, right? Just because you have something to say doesn't mean you need to say it, right? Don't really worry about what other people are doing, which I'm not worried about it, but I I somehow get into conversations about it, and then I'm like, that's killing my time. I got better shit to do, right? So I've been telling people, do what you gotta do, post what you gotta post, but I don't care. It doesn't involve me. None of it has to do with me, right? Um, I'm I still go to everybody's channel. You will still find me in all kinds of different chats and saying what's up and this and that. But uh, but I'm that's just old news. And however it plays out, it plays out. It seems like a roller coaster. I don't care. I don't want to go on the ride. I like to just walk on level ground. You know what I mean? I'm cool. Um, there is one point I want to make that I hope you guys hear me on this, right? I hope everybody hears me on this. And I'm speaking only for myself, but I'm not aware of anybody that would disagree with me, to be honest. Anybody with half a head on their shoulders. I've seen comments on other channels saying that the Norteño channels are attacking somebody. Let me be very clear. To the best of my knowledge, there are no Northerners with a YouTube channel, let alone Norteños. So it's impossible for all the Norteños channels to attack you because there aren't any. You know, some of us are from Northern California, some of us that ran in the streets or ran in prison or whatever, and that is what it is. We all got our own story and we tell it. But the other aspect of beef, so here's a bonus, number six, right? People will try to build a team, try to build a coalition, right? Of I have an issue with this person. I want more people to come along so that we can all have an issue with this person. Now stand on your own two fucking feet, right? And and just because you're a weirdo doesn't mean that everything's attacking you. Like that's that self-centeredness, right? Doesn't mean everybody's attacking you, you know? Um, none of us are that important. None of us are that important to be the center of somebody else's life. I, I'm a very big factor in my kids' life. I'm a big factor in my lady's life. I don't think I'm a big factor in the lives of anybody on YouTube. And truth be told, while some folks I talk to offline, some people I like more than I like others, some people I don't really like, but I still communicate respectfully. Who those people are, you guys want to, this is none of your fucking business. Um, but I would hope I'm not a big deal in the lives of any content creators. You know what I mean? Maybe my brother over there on keeping it 100, so make sure you subscribe there. Um, but other than that, no, right? And so don't this whole team building, right? It's us against no, like, and in that case, you couldn't even cut it gang banging. So don't try to build a gang now or make it like it's a gang thing now, because ain't none of us gangsters, right? Some of us can do some gangster stuff sometimes. Hopefully, none of us want to. I sure in the hell don't. Um, and that's irrelevant. It's fuck. It's YouTube. That's it. It's not the prison yard. It's not anything else. So that's another aspect of beef, though. And I might get some pushback for this little element that I said, but I feel like it's necessary because there's a lesson there in the grander scheme of things, right? And I'm gonna get shit talked about me anyway, so I really don't care. Um, it's happening already. It's gonna continue to happen. I don't care. It's whatever. But for subscribers, if you don't like beef on YouTube, I hear from a lot of people, hey, Vasco, we don't like this, man. We need to focus or this or that. And why don't you get back to what you do, Holmes? This is, this is unnecessary. This ain't cool. I don't want to watch this. Some of those very same people, not many, but some are also instigating shit, right? Uh, but most of them are sincere. And there's a lot of others, though, that just want to see issues. So if you don't like the beef, pull back on that shit and don't encourage it. We're all responsible for our own behavior, but don't press those buttons, man. Because things can get carried away. So, anyways, I don't want to keep being repetitive, man, but hopefully there's some lessons in here that you can apply in your life outside of YouTube, right? Because we all endure these things, and I think that these principles, right, like is stop worrying about what other people are doing. Just because you have an answer to a question or an opinion on something doesn't mean you need to share it, right? Try not being so self-centered. The world doesn't revolve around you, and not all money is good money, right? And just don't be fucking weird. So, hey, help others move with excellence. That's what homies do. Help yourself at the same time because you're worth it, and help your community because they need you. And stay out the beef. Stay out the drama. Life is too short. And for those of us that are not incarcerated, that have been, come on, homes. We're free. We're out of prison. Can't be that bad. All right, guys. Take care.